Okay, so in video 9 I'm going to talk to you about how to use Google's Website Optimizer feature for split testing. If you don't know what split testing is, it's basically a method that allows you to test the conversion rate. So let's say, for example, you have version A and version B of your sales copy has slightly different things, such as slightly different headlines, it has a video promo, things are moved around perhaps, and you have different sub-headlines, text, different sales copy. What that does, it allows you to test between sales copy A and sales copy B to see which one is actually better converting. So with Google Website Optimizer's feature, they allow you to do just that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Google here, and I'm going to simply type in the keyword Google Website Optimizer. And you can go ahead and click it. It's at google.com/website optimizer. If you don't know anything about Website Optimizer and you'd like to know a little more information about it before you actually get started, you can also read below here. There's tutorials and user guides and things like that. But I'm actually going to show you how to do just that. So what you want to do is click on the Create a New Experiment link. So go ahead and do that. There are two choices. You can either do an A/B experiment or a multivariate experiment. Now, if you're just getting started out, you'd probably have to use the A/B experiment, because one of the requirements is that your page receives fewer than 1,000 views a week. The multivariate experiment requires you to have more than 1,000 views per week. So if your site is already receiving more than 1,000 views a week, you can go ahead and use this. But in this case, we're going to assume that you're just starting out, and we're going to use the A/B experiment. So go ahead and click on Create. So it gives you a brief overview of the A/B experiment checklist. So what you want to do is you want to do 1, choose the page you would like to test. So whether it's your sales copy, you can get the link directly to your sales copy, and I'll show you that in just a minute. And then you want to create an alternate version of that test page. So you have version A, which is the original, and version B, which might have a different headline, have a video promo or other things added to it. And third, you can identify your actual conversion page. Your conversion page is basically like your thank you page. So you only have one of those, right? But you have, in this case, version A, version B, so you have two different sales copies, but they all get to the thank you page. So basically what you're testing here is, okay, if they're clicking A or B, how many times can they get from A to B to the thank you page? Basically, which one converts actually. So you really don't have to mess with anything like payment processors. Google will actually detect which page actually converts. And it doesn't actually have to necessarily deal with payment. You can also make Google's Website Optimizer test out forms. You know, do people fill out forms? Do they click a button? You know, do they fill out contact forms, sign up for a newsletter, things like that. So once you're ready to do that and you understand that concept, we can go ahead and click on this and click on Continue. It's very easy to set up. The first thing you want to do is you want to name your experiment and the identified pages. So in this case, I'm going to call it the Online Copywriting Pro Test. And originally it starts out with 2 pages, the original page and the page variation URL, which is basically that copied over with a different headline, different forms, things like that. You can also add another page variation, but in this case we're just going to play with 2 pages, A and B, and that's it. Okay, so here's what I've done. I've taken a original page and created it there under the split testing folder, and then I have created a duplicate of that, duplicated here, but it has the number 2 in front of it. And what Google is going to do is it's going to detect whether that page actually exists. So it said page found, so that's good. Now that we have page 1 and page 2, we can identify our conversion page, which in this case is my thanks.html page. So once we're done with that, click on continue. On this page you have two choices. You can either send your web team to install the JavaScript tags. That means that you have an actual team that will do the job for you. Google won't actually do the job for you, basically emailing your team. But in this case we're actually installing it ourselves, so we'll want to click on this at the bottom here and click on continue. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is install and validate the JavaScript tags. And it's very easy to do. There's only 3 pages if you remember. And it'll tell you what to do on every exact page. So the index.html page, it says paste the following in the beginning and then paste the following at the end. And then it also talks about down here different pages, and as well as the conversion page, which is your thank you page. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go open up TextPad here, and you can see the index.html page and the code here. And if you don't know anything about the code, that's fine. You don't need to know anything about the code. I'm going to move this to the side, and it says here that to paste the following at the beginning of the original page's source. And if you don't know, there's always this question mark that you can click and find out more information that way. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this over to my index.html page. And what you need to do is don't put it all the way at the beginning. It says the beginning, but what it actually means is put it right before your body tag. So if you scroll down, every web page should have a body tag in the beginning at the top. So put the control script at the top, and then I'll move this aside, and then it says paste the following at the end of your page's source code. So you need to paste this at the end of your body tag. So there's another body tag. I scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll notice that there's a body tag here, and I'll just put it right before there. And this script has nothing to do with it. That's actually a different script for tracking. But we've saved the index.html file. We'll go ahead and save that. The index2.html page, click that, right click, copy, and then I'll go to the index2.html. And of course it said at the very end of all your pages, so we'll put it right at the end before the body tag. And we'll save that. And go to the thanks.html page and copy this at the very end as well. So we'll go here, thanks.html page, copy that over, click on save, and then what we want to do is we want to upload all those files that we just saved into here. So once that's complete, then you want to go back here and validate the pages. So click on validate pages, and what Google has done is validated that the scripts are on your page. So we're good to go. Click on OK, and then click on continue. And we have installed the scripts, and you can begin to preview the experiment. So click on this or click on that, doesn't matter. Okay, so this is the original, and if I click on next, I should be able to see the variation. And you can change things on here if you like, it's up to you. And since we have successfully seen that it works, we're good to go, and you can go ahead and click Start Experiment. And if you want to access your reports, within 3 to 4 hours you should start to see your reports. So if you go to the main screen here to the website optimizer, you're going to see that you have an experiment running. And of course you can run other experiments on that same site or a different site just by doing that and doing what I showed you over again.